as we welcome in 100.5 ESPN Madison, was one of those like by the book guys, gonna get us in, get us out.
2 minutes late.
2 minutes late is really, really bad. But we're excited to have everyone across ESPN Wisconsin now because it is Kyle Bruston-Ortman. Barry Alvarez scheduled to join at 2:30. Brad and myself, Brad Nortman being a former Badger punter and an alum, and myself being a big Badger football fan, had a spirited discussion with all of you. A lot of phone calls, differing opinions. And that's wonderful because I want the differing opinions. We're going to get one because I talked a little bit about my feelings yesterday about the Badger football program, and I'll give you a little snippet from Alex Strofe here. I am out of patience, and that is in regards to the Wisconsin Badgers. Luke Fickell, as the Wisconsin's football coach, has overpromised and underdelivered. 100%. The marketing campaign, I got fooled. I completely got fooled. That's just a little bit. If you missed any of our show, go to WisconsinOnDemand.com or watch back on YouTube from yesterday. And Brad, what do you know? Jesse Nelson running the show with Barry Alvarez, our brand new teammate here at Good Karma Brands. Tarek Sala and Derek Engler, who just follow Barry around, and they're the walking laugh track for Barry Alvarez. They got together for the Great Dane Huddle, and Barry got wind of how I felt about my impatience, and Barry Alvarez, probably of the Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin sports icons, had something to say about me.
Oh, I'm really impressed that he's impatient. What has he been impatient about? Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russ is impatient? I can't believe that. He's impatient. What have you been waiting for?
What am I waiting for? I'll tell you what I've been waiting for. A product on the field I can be proud of, Coach. A product on the field I can be proud of. All I have to say is 42-10, and I have nightmares.
Yeah, it seems a little bit too casual for a team that is just falling so short of our expectations, Ben. I mean, this is a team that
greatness. I'm listening to greatness laugh about not greatness.
Well, and
not even good.
And Barry's the guy that built all this, right? None of this exists without Barry Alvarez. And when I look at this as a player, as a fan, all I know is successful Wisconsin Badger football. So I can't wait to have him on the show at 2:30 when we can ask him, like, what are his expectations then? If you or I are maybe, in his opinion, in the wrong for being impatient, well, how long should we be waiting for? And what are our expectations until then? Because I still look at this and think, look, Wisconsin has a further ahead starting point than most schools when it comes to a rebuild. If you want to call this a rebuild, maybe more of like a reload/rebuild. And the fact that it's taking this long for anything to happen, anything of significance, a signature win, impressive showing on the fields against good team, is just like a little bit concerning to me. So at least I'm not. I don't think you are either, too, Ben. We're not calling for Coach Fickell's job. We're not doing anything crazy like that. But I think at some point you want to see something. Not asking for 10 wins, not asking for the college football playoff, but show me something, an upset. Stringing together multiple games against decent teams, anything that reflects an identity or strength of this team, because we just haven't seen it yet. We're almost through 2 seasons.
We did put up a poll on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Are you impatient with the Badgers football team? Yes, I'm losing patience is leading the way at 70%. No, I'm staying patient at 30%. So right there, I mean, that is my opening question to Barry Alvarez, because if he's laughing at me, he's laughing at 70% of the audience. That is filling in their blank here on this poll of saying, yeah, I'm getting impatient, because it's okay to be impatient when you see other programs that you highlighted, Brad, the Illinois, the Tennessees, and I obviously mentioned Indiana yesterday. I know they have a soft schedule, but they have identity, and they are 10-0. And if you took that Indiana team with the same schedule the Badgers had last year, they would blow the Badgers record out of the water with the schedule that was last year. We can get into what that schedule looks like next year. That's for a different day. The time for the conversation is now, right? Like how are you feeling right freaking now about this program? Because impatient or not, it hasn't looked good, and there is no identity, and those are questions that I want to have answered. 800-990-3776. I want to know if I'm stupid for being impatient, because Barry says, I don't know crap, and I should stick to what? What did he say? He has something. Barry Alvarez had something else to say about me, didn't he, Strofe?
I have one piece of advice for Ben. Let us worry about the football part of it. He concentrate on basketball.
Look at Bert and Ernie, Tarek Sala and Derek Engler laughing. Hey, hey guys, what do you guys think of the Badger football program right now? What would Barry Alvarez say to you guys if you were like, hey, it's okay, we lost 42-10? 4th and 1 shotgun. Let's run the ball. What do you say? Alex Strope's a good producer.
Nice,
come on,
Strophe.
Strophe.
Nice.
Play into the bit.
We
Put
just
the
get
ego
schooled by the
aside
producer.
one time. One time.
You're a good producer. You're a good producer.
And I think that most
No, don't be them.
most
Don't
Badger
be
fans,
them.
I'm not going to be them. Most Badger fans are frustrated because you talked about a little bit yesterday what the tone that Coach Fickell sent for this program, which I respect, right? To have high standards and high expectations. I went back and looked at his sort of opening press conference in Big Ten Media Day in 2023, where he said it set the tone for the Wisconsin Badger football program. He was asked the question, how do you define success in year one, and what are your expectations? He said, quote, we have one objective, that's to play for a championship that won't ever change. And it just seems like that promise, that aim, is just so far off from what this team is putting on the field now to where the last couple of years, the last like 4 years or so, has got to be the worst 4-year stretch in Wisconsin Badger football history since Coach Alvarez took over. So I think for all those who are getting impatient, yes, it's borrowed a little bit from how everything ended with Christ, but there were some big promises made, and it feels like this team is just far away from fulfilling any one of those promises.
I just I'm so fascinated from a Barry Alvarez standpoint, right? Because he was able to do the unthinkable. The Badger football program, there are thousands of you listening right now that remember and love to call in and remind us how bad things were for the Packers and how bad things were for the Badgers and what it was like trying to root for a program that never found success. Barry Alvarez, with less resources than the university has right now, turned a program around with a snap of the finger. And so now when I'm being told and I'm being laughed at for being impatient, it feels weird. Like, why all of a sudden when there's more opportunity to turn a program around quicker with NIL, which, do we have the biggest pockets in the world? No, but by all the measurables that I hear and talk about with people around the program, they can compete. They have a good NIL collective and program in ways that they're able to bring in kids to be competitive. Now, that talent and what they brought in is not translated onto the field. And that's where I aim and point to Luke Fickell of saying, all right, you talked about his opening press conference at Big Ten Media Days. I remember his opening press conference of when he joined the Wisconsin Badgers. And I'm hearing, we're going to win the line of scrimmage. I'm hearing and thinking to myself, yes, I did my research. This guy played at Ohio State. He coached on a national championship football team, co-defensive coordinator. Tressel, right? Like the whole shebang. He was a wrestler, which means, you know what I've learned in life? You don't want to mess with a wrestler. They'll beat the crap out of you. He was a nose tackle. He probably had one of those helmets back in the day that you couldn't even see out of because it was like they were going to crush skulls. I see no skull crushing. I see us getting moved backwards. I see no disruption.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russell?
Well, you're right. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe Tarek and Derek, who are just holding on to being best friends with Barry Alvarez so they can keep getting invited to his suite and can eat a mooch off him. Maybe I'm in the wrong here. I need to be patient.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russell?
Look, I'm proud of that, by the way. I'm proud. If Barry Alvarez can tell me who the bleep cares what Ben Brust has to say, that's a win in my book. I might have to put that on the tombstone.
That is pretty good. That is
Ooh,
pretty
that's
good.
actually not a half bad idea. I don't want to think about you dying anytime soon, but it's an idea.
It'd be a flex.
Who the bleep cares what Ben Brust has to say? Dash Barry Alvarez on Ben Brust's tombstone. 91 to hopefully a long time from now. So what we're going to do here is I want to bring in Mark Tauscher coming up next. Mark Tauscher played for the Badgers. You hear him on the Badger Radio Network. You hear him on Willie and Tausch, 9 to noon across these various stations. And I want to know from Tauschi some questions that we have about Barry because it just doesn't add up to me. The lackadaisical, laugh at everything, impatient thing from our great teammate Barry Alvarez and Tarek Saller and Derek Engler. Look, they live football. They breathe football. And I don't, there's a disconnect in my head right now as to why impatience is a bad thing to have right now when I'm watching the Badgers lose 42-10 to Iowa. I don't care about not having a quarterback. Backup quarterback or not, the product on the field is not good enough. It is not. Again, I'm so sick of the word identity, but I'm going to have to use the word identity. There's no identity. This team has zero. And I'm supposed to believe in 4 years, this program's going to be in a place where we should be quicker than that because I'm seeing other teams be quicker with less resources. So what we do now is we hear from Mark Tauscher because I want to know what he would say if Barry Alvarez was in the locker, or what Barry would say in the locker room if they lost 42-10 to Iowa. I think Barry would be like, oh yeah, let's just have patience. Mark Tauscher, Packer Hall of Famer, former Badger. Next.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Brust?
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
He is now off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artist. Choke artist, choke artist, choke artist. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You
frauds,
choked against TCU. You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. Y'all choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda HR-V Sport all-wheel drive for as low as $199 per month, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Are you frustrated because you've been exercising and eating healthy, but you still can't lose weight? We know the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way, without drugs or injections. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two without prepackaged meals. No exercising, no hormones, no injections, drugs, or surgery. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the helpful coaching, guidance, and support from the team at Madison Weight Loss, I was able to drop 40 pounds during the 60-day program simply by making changes to my diet. I also learned a new approach to make healthier choices for the rest of my life. I'm so thankful for the experience with Madison Weight Loss.
To learn about our program, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com and schedule your free private phone consultation. Our staff will walk you through our entire program, talk about your health goals, and see if it's a good fit for you. Call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free phone consultation now. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Get more per pour at the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is a Madison original, brewing award-winning craft beers for 30 years. And now, it's time for their bigger and better happy hour. Every Monday through Thursday from 3 until 6 p.m., enjoy 20-ounce pints of the Great Dane's flagship beers for only $3. From Crop Circle Wheat to the Old Glory APA. Head to one of their 4 locations, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, and East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Black Friday is Cash Friday
At Ho Chunk Game in Madison.
on Friday, November 29th, starting at 5 p.m.
18 winners will each take home a cash prize between $500 and $2,500 in our Cash Friday promotion.
And at 8 p.m., one winner will take home the $40,000 grand prize.
Plus, November 29th is Ho Chunk Day.
And we're celebrating by giving the first 500 guests visiting our Rewards Club booth
$25 in rewards play.
Cash Friday is a holiday tradition at
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Craft your Brewers mini plan for the 2025 season, featuring all new 6-packs and 12-packs. Get in on the action with great ticket rates. marquee matchups, and priority seating. Plus, you'll get a limited edition Brewers Crowler with each 12-pack or pair of 6-packs. Looking to customize your games to fit your schedule? Build your own ticket plan options are also available. Pick the plan for you at brewers.com/ticket finder.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Joining us now on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with no Kyle. It's just Ben and Brad hanging out with Strophy running the show across ESPN Wisconsin. Mark Tauscher, Packer Hall of Famer, former Badger. You hear him on the Badger Radio Network during the football games. Old T, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great, Benny. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all that content you gave us this morning on Wilde and Tauscher. You are the best. When it comes to Badger stuff, like you got Paul Christ fired a couple years ago, and you weren't happy that we were, a program that was middle of the pack, and now you are really impatient. You get the old ball coach to basically tell you to blank off. It was such a fun show this morning, and I owe it all to you.
I'm so happy to be of service, Tauschi. First and foremost, I did not fire Paul Christ. I did not coach the Wisconsin Badgers.
You didn't fire him, but you went crazy. You didn't even go crazy. This was what you felt. And by the way, there are a lot of fans that felt the way you felt. And you went on a very big rant, and Paul got fired 2 days later.
So who the hell gives a whether Ben Russell?
So I guess it's a great drop.
It's a
fantastic drop.
Benny, it's one of the all-time great drops. There's no doubt.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russell?
At the end of the day, you said Benny, the old ball coach is calling me out.
The best part of that is Engler just cackling in the background. Even barely saying that, but that cackle after from Derek is just priceless. So
Tauschi, for a second here, right?
Yep.
Those guys, right? They were hard hitters. Barry's a hard hitter, and I'm feeling a little bit confused as to why. And we put on our poll. People are impatient. I'm not the minority here again. There are a strong vocal minority as well that want to continue to see and develop. And there's a whole change of the offense, this, that, and the other thing. Mm-hmm. But as it pertains to the product on the field, I know that they've had quarterbacks go down. But when I'm watching, and I don't want to go too inside here, Indiana, right? I'm not saying their schedule has been great, but the way that they've played football has been inspiring. I'm seeing these two defensive linemen blow up plays in their first year in the program. I'm talking, those are game wreckers, right? From James Madison. One of them, I believe, is a Badger transfer as well on the offensive line. And so when I'm seeing a first-year team do something that quickly, I get impatient when I think about a 42-10 loss against Iowa. How could Barry, Tarek, and Derek just sit there and laugh right now? It just doesn't feel like a good time to be like, oh, everything's okay, because it doesn't feel okay.
Well, I would say, obviously, everybody was incredibly disappointed with what happened 2 weeks ago. There's no doubt about it. And I think if you asked Luke Fickell, he'd say he wishes they were further ahead than where they are. But to act as if you're just going to snap your fingers, and Ben, the reason you were disappointed with Paul Christ is we had fallen to the point where we were middle of the pack of the Big Ten, and you wanted to chase national championships. Nobody's excited about going to the Gasparilla Bowl. That's just not where we are as a program. And in order to do it, Chris McIntosh felt like he needed to make a big swing. And does stuff happen? Let me ask you, you're saying Indiana, and I give Indiana a ton of credit. Cignetti has been great. They've been fantastic. But take the Michigan game out of that equation. Put Wisconsin's schedule against Indiana. They got 2 losses minimum.
Talk to me about the Badger schedule last year and what Indiana's doing this year. That's the thing. We're in year 2.
I understand, but you're asking me to kind of compare and contrast. That's where I'm at. Obviously, we'd all love to see it, but you know what happens when you're impatient you maybe will catch fire, and you'll maybe get that fire to burn for a little bit, but it goes out, and you want to have something sustainable that you can build your program off of. You're not Alabama. You're not Georgia. You're not going to win a national championship every year, but what you want to do is to build and build. Now, if you want to get into, well, is this thing being built the right way, and you can go ahead and have that debate, but this idea that 18 months later we're supposed to be knocking at the national championship door,
No one's saying that, Tausch. No one's saying that.
That's kind of what you're saying. Your impatience is that we're not getting the success this quickly.
I mean, they're not going to get the 7 wins. The 7 wins that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Even for a alum, that's got to hurt a little bit.
Listen, I don't think anybody is super excited about the record, and especially coming off of the last time we played, it was a bad day. I don't have any words to put it, but to sit and act as if, being patient and impatient, this stuff is not, you don't just snap your fingers. You're not, I think with what Luke Fickell's doing, if you want to say he should have done more of what's significant, he's brought transfers in.
He has.
The schedule, he's brought transfers in. You have to get this thing built, and you're not going to just snap your fingers and say, all right, here we go. If this team this year went 8-4, I don't think you'd be all that upset. The Iowa game was the biggest outlier, and you have every right as a fan to be disappointed and to say that you're being impatient or all this. And Coach Alvarez is not a fan. He's someone that's built the program. And by the way, I heard your little clip before I jumped on. Barry Alvarez, there were guys in his meeting room when he first got to Wisconsin that said, and this would be a great story for him to tell, he's told it a million times. Somebody got up and said, we're going to win the Big Ten. If you don't believe that, and Barry said, sit down. We ain't winning the Big Ten. He wanted to make sure the expectations were set so that you don't have all this, you're building your foundation with a bunch of stuff that's not going to last. You don't just blow smoke up, guys. You have to shoot straight and be honest. So coaches are going to look at it a heck of a lot different than a fan. And I think players will look at it a little bit different because it's not instant mashed potatoes. You got to go and plant the potatoes. And you got to dig the potatoes up. And you got to peel them. And you got to boil them. And you make it. And this isn't an instant mashed potato society. It is, but it's not when you're trying to build.
I want to know this team's identity, not mashed potatoes.
Mashed potato society, yeah.
Tausch, from the get-go, though, Fickell talked about we have one objective. That's to play for a championship. That won't ever change. That was from Big Ten Media Day in 2023. It just seems like there's a disconnect between what he's saying and what we're seeing on the field. And I know that college football is part marketing, right? You have to do that for recruiting. But I think that's where a lot of frustration lies. And I'm a punter. I'm not even a trenches guy. It seems like this program has lost the identity that we've hung on to for so long. And I think that is a huge thing to where I can't even point to what this team's identity is.
Did you say that after the Rutgers game? Has it been, even when you look at some of the Alabama we ran for over 100, I get it, guys. I understand it. And I think if you look back and that setting the expectations when Luke first got here in that Big Ten Media Day and chasing national championships, you have to set that expectation from a public standpoint. And I think if you look back at it, I think he probably would say maybe we should have set the expectations a little more realistic than where we were. But then you looked at the schedule and you were kind of hoping we could get, catch fire and get moving, and it didn't happen. So I understand all of it, and I don't have any problem with you, Benny, or Nordy, from a fan standpoint saying I am getting a little impatient. But I don't have any problem with Barry from a coaching perspective, understanding what it takes to build a program that, Benny called for Paul to be fired.
Oh, here we go.
The program was not in a good place at that point. Those are just the facts. And now you're trying to build it and get it back to where you are and bigger heights. We don't want to just be 8-4 and go into a nice, December bowl game. We want to be in that playoff. And we have to do things differently than what we've done.
All right, quickly before we get to Barry, Tausch, because I do want to know here. Why should fans be excited? Why?
I think if you trust in what Luke Fickell did at Cincinnati and you believe that things are going to get turned around, I think there's no doubt the defense has gotten more talent than it had last year. I think you have to look at it from that perspective. And if you don't want to be excited and you want to say bring in a new coach. Fire. Go ahead and say it. I'm not going to go down that road. I believe that Luke Fickell is going to get it figured out, is going to get the players in here that he believes can get him in the position to get this program where we're fighting and in the playoff hunt every season.
All right, there it is from Mark Tauscher. Strong words there.
Good luck, Benny. I cannot wait. I'm gonna make sure before basketball practice, I'm gonna stay tuned in. I can't wait to see how this thing shakes out.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russell?
You got the same cackle as the other old heads, Tausch.
Because it's super funny. Benny, even you have to admit that's really funny.
I'm going to put it on my tombstone.
Sounds like a plan. See ya.
That's Tausch. That's old T. Listen to Tausch, Wildy and Tausch across these very stations. Joining us next, he's the legend. He's got a statue, for crying out loud. His name's Barry Alvarez. Brust versus Alvarez featuring Nortman. Because I got a good sidekick, I'm not going to lie. He's fired up too. Barry Alvarez joins us next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah,
I am young.
You're not
wild,
that.
I am
Every
wild.
time I ask you to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why you taking so? Why you going personal? Why you going to talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Bud Light's impactful initiative with Folds of Honor. This fall, Bud Light and Folds of Honor need your help to highlight the stories of those who gave their all in service of our country. If you know someone close to you that is a fallen or wounded veteran or first responder, please submit their story to be recognized by Kyle Brust and Nortman. Now through the week of Veterans Day, submit a story of a service member for their family's chance to be featured on the air, along with a Milwaukee Bucks weekend experience. Write into ESPNFoldsofHonor.com. That's ESPNFoldsofHonor.com, and we will honor the families of those who've kept our family safe.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. code.
Everybody's buzzing about Quick Trip's possibly pilfered potatoes. We have them priced so low, some say they're illegal. Swipe potato fries? Potatoes ill-gotten? Stash browns? Come on, these are not hot potatoes. But it is a quick hot savings. You might say it's a steal. No, don't say that. 99 cents for a 5-pound bag. 5 pounds of potatoes under $1? What a heist. A perfect score for those large meal gatherings. Quick Trip. We got your taters covered.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, I'm really impressed that he's impatient. What he's been impatient about? Who the hell gives a whether Ben Russ is impatient? I can't believe that. He's impatient. What are they waiting for? I have one piece of advice for Ben. Let us worry about the football part of it. He concentrate on basketball.
Very excited to have Barry Alvarez, our new teammate here at Good Karma Brands, ESPN Wisconsin, join us. And on his first day, I got something for my tombstone. What is that, Strofe? Ben Brust, Brad Nortman here with you, the former Badger punter, longtime NFL punter, no Kyle Wallace. Alex Strofe running the show, but let's get to the legend himself. Barry Alvarez, welcome into Kyle Brust and Nortman. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. And you know what, Coach? What I love about being a Wisconsin Badger is the passion for our programs will never leave me. From the times that I've heard Tausch and you on these airwaves, Tarek and Derek on the airwaves, I've heard about what it's like during their time. I lived through the Bielema era of what to expect from him. From Paul Chryst before 2020 of what it was like in 2017-19 going to those Big Ten championship games. There was an identity. And I'm not going to lie, Coach, I'm lost. And so maybe as you had called me out for being impatient and how that's wrong, help me figure out what the identity of this football team is, because I'm struggling with it. It feels very unclear to me.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I'd like to see it myself. You know, for so many years, you know, when I took the job, I said the one thing we're going to do, I looked at the type of players I felt we could consistently recruit. And you look around the state, and I'd have a summer camp, and you'd have 500 kids there, and 300 of them were linemen. You know, and they're 6th grade to 10th grade, and they're 6 foot to 6'6", and a bunch of them from 250 over 300 pounds. I figured we could find some linemen consistently, and that's where you start in Wisconsin, by being physical. And so that was the mantra of our whole program. And, boy, you know, I guess maybe I'm crying. I'm crying to see the same thing, or crying to see that physicality.
Yeah, Coach, you know, when I watch this team, you know, it looks different from all the years that you established in the 90s and 2000s, and different from the teams I played on. And, you know, to see the lack of physicality that Wisconsin's known for, and, you know, owning the line of scrimmage. I'm a punter, for crying out loud, and it's hard for me to, like, see how far it seems like it's gone from what Wisconsin's known for. So I'm in Ben's camp, where I'm in more of the impatient, where I don't need to see this team making the college football playoff, but a signature win, you know, string together some impressive wins against good football teams. So if you think that our impatience isn't where we should be, how long will it take for you before you start to say, okay, now is the time? And what should we be looking for along the way until that moment hits?
Yeah, let me backtrack a little bit. I guess I'm a defender of our program. You know, so if somebody takes a shot at it, my natural response is to defend it, because I have so much invested in it, and I want it to do well. You know, so that's where that was a reflex action on a statement. To answer your question, I don't know what the answer is. You know, people, you know, most guys, when they take a job, they say when they take a job, normally it's a bad job. It's a situation like I inherited, where you probably have 4 legitimate Division I players on a roster, You have a bunch of guys that really shouldn't be on a Division I roster, and they've been losing for a long time. Coach loses his job, and then it takes you a while to rebuild that program. Well, this program has been winning and going to bowl games. So, I can sense frustration. Just because you have a new coach doesn't mean you step back and say we got to rebuild for 4 years. That's not the case.
As we're talking with Barry Alvarez here, thanks to Barry for taking some time to join us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Just Brad Nortman and Ben Brust here, no Kyle Wallace. Coach, if it was a 42-10 loss against Iowa in your second year of that type of game, what would your message be? Because I think that's what I carry over is when I come out of a bye week watching other teams and then I have more clarity about where the team that I love is. That's where my frustration landed yesterday of watching Indiana, right? Kurt Cignetti's done a phenomenal job. I don't care what their schedule's been. They've taken care of it. As you know, you can only take care of what's in front of you. And they have guys from James Madison, who was a good football program last year, blowing stuff up, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Coach. 42-10 against Iowa. What would you say to your team? How does that make you feel? Because that's where I'm saying I'm impatient. It's not that. Look, I love what Luke Fickell has said. Right? He said they wanted to compete for national championships. He said he's a nose tackle from Ohio State that's been a part of coaching a team that's won a national championship. And I just feel like there's a disconnect from what I've been told, from what I'm seeing. And I know I've asked a lot of things there. I'm just sharing a little bit of my frustration. What do you take of everything I'm putting out there right now? Because I want this program to be successful, because I love Badger football. I love when Saturdays mean something more, and I miss it.
Yeah, I get you. I know where you're coming from, and it is frustrating, and it's really frustrating for me because there's no one I'd rather beat than Iowa to start with. And, for so many years, Iowa couldn't score more than 2 touchdowns and still won and still found ways to win. To see, I'm looking at two sides. I'm seeing them right their ship because they're always going to play good defense. But to be able to put 42 points on us, that was frustrating. That was very frustrating for me. I guess I understand fans' disappointment. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I'm frustrated, but I have confidence in this staff. I think we have good players. We're not playing up to our capability right now. I don't think.
Yeah, look, and Coach, I appreciate you joining right now because, it comes in a place of, I know that when you see this, you're like Brad, myself, and every other Badger. We want things fixed as soon as possible, and it's not to say that Luke Fickell cannot do it. It's just trying to find the path to do that. And so as you look at this football team, you got Oregon, you got Nebraska, you got Minnesota. What would Coach Alvarez like to see the next 3 games to instill confidence not just in the team itself, but to fans looking for the turnaround that we all hope for?
You know what I'd like to see? I'd really like to see teams show up and really compete hard and get after Oregon. You're playing the number 1 team in the country. Instead of showing up and kind of pussyfooting your way in there and feeling your way around, get after the number 1 team in the country and show the fans and show the Wisconsin people that there's some fight in this outfit and that you're ready to compete and compete at the highest level. And that's as far as I would go.
Send the clip to the team, Strofe. Send it. Send it. This is the man. If you hear the man say that, you do what the man says. I want to run through a wall for you, Coach. I don't want to see this. I'll go squat the rest of my life and give me 1-year eligibility, and I'll do my damnedest to make you proud because I can't sit and bear this anymore. I just love the Badgers. Brad, take over while I take it.
Ben, we're going to have to toughen you up a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, Barry
we're going to do a lot. You're going to do a lot of squats. I want to see you put your nose on somebody's chest.
Coach Alvarez, I'm just thinking about as Coach Fickell seeks to build what we all want him to build, right? And I'm thinking about this time in this new age of college football in NIL. And, I just wonder, do you think that NIL hurts or helps Wisconsin as they try to attract talent? Because to me, when I was being recruited, I looked to all the things that Wisconsin had that were just check and box right after left, where it's great education, great experience, elite, the best game day experience, and you go there and win and play tough. And I just wonder if those things are watered down as these young players maybe prioritize money over everything else. So that I struggle with when it comes to college football. So do you think that NIL helps or hurts Wisconsin as we try to build for the future?
I would say that really elevates a lot of teams that normally wouldn't be able to compete with us in recruiting. Because I think, number one, what you said was exactly right. And I saw that that's why I took the job when I did. They hadn't been successful, but there was no reason why they couldn't and shouldn't be successful with the quality of the university, the city, the campus, the support that we have, the stadium. It had everything was there, and I don't know anyone, and you guys can speak for yourselves. I don't know anyone that even went to Wisconsin that didn't have a great experience. So it's a place where you can recruit players. You can get players to come and play. Players want to be there. Now, if someone else throws a bunch of money around, that's certainly going to affect a lot of players. So, we've got to be in that game too, and we've got to be competitive in that arena.
Yes, we're talking with Barry Alvarez here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. No Kyle, Ben Brust, former punter for the Badgers, Brad Nortman, joined by Barry Alvarez. And Barry, I do want to talk a little bit about what is a fun weekend that you were a part of as an athletic director. This weekend is a special weekend, having the 2014 and 15 Final Four team in the building for the basketball game against Arizona on Friday and at the football game on Saturday. Give me your top memory of being an athletic director for the football and basketball program.
Wow. Well, for the football program, going to the Rose Bowls, and that one stretch we went 3 in a row. The three that we won when I was the head coach, those you can't. Now you shoot for playoffs and national championship, but back then, the focus by everyone in the Big Ten was the Rose Bowl. So when we take the job, and in the 90s we go to 3 and we win 3, and the Big Ten hadn't won. I don't know if the Big Ten had won a total of 3, in the history, because they hadn't won very many Rose Bowls. So those are highlights in basketball. One of those the Final Fours, and the magnitude of that were college basketball and basketball in general, all convenes in one location, and it's your team, it's my team, it's your team that's playing, and you're the focus of the whole nation. Every one of those was special. So those were really, really special times, and we were doing both of those at the same time. And you think of the quality of the athletes that came through our place and compete at the highest level and be very competitive. That was really a special time.
Hey, Coach, can you promise me one thing? If things go a little bit south at halftime, can I sneak up to the suite to share a cold one with you?
Absolutely.
Love that hospitality. Coach Alvarez, I want you to think about all the teams that you coach, you specifically coached. And if you were to pluck one player off of those teams and drop them onto this current Wisconsin Badger team to be able to really say, now this is the guy that this program should look like, and this is the guy that can lead and do all that kind of stuff, what would be that one player that you would pick up from your coaching career and drop on this football team?
I'd pick one on each side of the ball.
Okay.
If I had to pick one, I'd take Ron Dane.
Good choice.
He can run your offense. I mean, he's your offense. he was carrying the ball as an 18-year-old kid. He was carrying it 50 times a game for us. Defensively, I'd have to flip a coin. You know, Tom Burke could really affect the game. He could really affect the game as a defensive lineman, but Donnell Thompson as a leader to bring a defense together was really special.
And Coach, lastly, before we let you go here, because we do appreciate the time, I do want to relive one moment because I would be yelled at by my family if I didn't ask. Because I still don't believe you. I asked you this after a golf outing one time. Is it true that my brother Jonathan Brust at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee got the Oregon Duck to flip him off?
That is an absolute fact.
Well,
your brother, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Me either,
His
Coach.
voice, it carries such that it like pierced the Duck's ears. I mean, you could hear him over the roar of the crowd, and he was torturing. He was torturing Oregon and really torturing the Duck. And the Duck finally had enough. And he turned around and flipped him the bird.
Man, that Brust family. Huh?
Well, we're going to do it again this weekend. Jonathan Brust against the Oregon Ducks on Saturday, and for the Final Four game on Friday against Arizona. Coach, I hope to see you this weekend, and appreciate you joining us.
Okay, guys. Have a good day.
That's Coach Alvarez, Barry Alvarez, joining Kyle Brust and Nortman here across ESPN Wisconsin. And I bet you he still thinks that I should stick to basketball. What do you think? Or did I get him on my side?
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Brust is?
Well, what you should listen to right now is Palermo's Pizza, because that is a screaming Sicilian victory in my book, being told I don't know crap, but also getting him to come together and understand he's just as frustrated as everyone else because that man wants to see Wisconsin win more than anybody. If we think we care, that man cares more than us, just like I care about my frozen pizza made the best way possible. We went over to Palermo's, Brad. We walked out with the goodie bags of goodie bags.
It was unbelievable. My freezer is stocked with
Still
them.
stocked.
But they're dwindling down because I just can't help myself.
Detroit style screaming, tavern style screaming, OG screaming, thin and crispy screaming, 2.5 feet of stuffed crust screaming, urban pies. The one from Italy, there's bread from Italy. That one was my low key, holy cow, that is a new fave. It's not part of my screaming family, but it's part of Palermo. So find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer, and you will not be disappointed. Trust all of us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. We will react to what Barry Alvarez had to say with us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman, the direction of the Badger football program. Plus, we'll have Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust at 3 o'clock, which I missed my opportunity. We're having Barry Alvarez on for a more fun segment moving forward. He's going to do it, Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? That's a goal now that he is an official teammate of ours here at ESPN Wisconsin. So coming up next, we will recap the Badgers, get to Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, and laugh at the Bears, because that brings everyone together. Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, before and after every Wisconsin football game this season. Subscribe to the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day podcast on Wisconsin On Demand and wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin football getting top-ranked Oregon this week. Coming off a 2-game slide, that offense needing a wake-up if they want to run with the Big Ten's top unit. Mark Tauscher on what the offense's strong suits are during his appearance on ESPN Madison's Jim, Matt, and Molly.
When they're firing and when they're going, that's what it's been. It's been a consistent ground attack with Walker really kind of being that bell cow. And you have Vinny Anthony, I think, has really kind of emerged as a big play threat. We've seen little glimpses, but that has to be that formula to loosen some things up and help that ground game when maybe you're struggling a little bit.
Pella can customize windows and doors to look like they've always been a part of your unique home. Get 0% interest for 12 months at PellaWI.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today.
Today, you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. And you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson, and your home of the high school football playoffs is 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania, the area's best high school sports coverage, bringing you live games streaming free on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel all throughout the playoffs, and then all 7 state football championship games can be heard right here on 100.5 ESPN in mid-November. Your home of the high school football playoffs, 100.5 ESPN and Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Have you been wanting to find the secret to losing weight and getting healthy the natural way without drugs or injections? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret to losing a half a pound to a pound of fat every day naturally, safely, and effectively without counting points or calories. No exercising, no prepackaged meals, no hormones, no injections, no drugs or surgery. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the helpful coaching, guidance, and support from the team at Madison Weight Loss, I was able to drop 40 pounds during the 60-day program simply by making changes to my diet. I also learned a new approach to make healthier choices for the rest of my life. I'm so thankful for the experience with Madison Weight Loss.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private phone consultation, call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com. Our staff will walk you through our entire program, talk about your health goals, and see if it's a good fit for you. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now. Results may vary.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
What the identity of this football team is, because I'm struggling with it. It feels very unclear to me.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I'd like to see it myself.
I'll tell you what, I'm kind of sad after that. I don't know about you, Brad.
Yeah, I'm a little sad too.
Barry was great. He was authentic.
Awesome.
He told you exactly how he felt. He's going to defend the Wisconsin Badger football program as he should. He built it. We are only here and we are only as passionate as we are of Badger fans because of Barry. But during that entire time, I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this man who built this has to watch something kind of not slip away completely, but not ascend in a way in which he would want it to feel like as the guy who was the athletic director for so long.
Well, that's why when, like, you know, Derek and Tarek and Tausch and Alvarez, I mean, those dudes put like legitimate blood, sweat, and tears into this. And I punted from afar, so I put some things into it, maybe not as much as them. And when there's a level,
give yourself
of,
some credit. This is time for you to take credit.
You're right, but when it comes to, so I will take some credit. I'm a Wisconsin Badger just like them. When it comes to Coach Alvarez, he's captivating. He's intense. Like even now, I'm like, this dude could still lead a team, an organization, whoever. And it almost feels like the gap is greater then. Like to what we're seeing now on the field in Coach Fickell. I've in a 15-minute interview with Coach Alvarez talking about how we're kind of all not satisfied with the college football state of Wisconsin. I feel more captivated over that 15 minutes than I did with anything I've ever heard from Luke Fickell. And the tone of the interview was kind of bummed. It was kind of sad. So it just makes me feel like we're even further away from who we were and who we want to be.
But that's exactly why when I hear him, I'm half joking when I'm in the interview, like, Strofe, send that to the team. Because what you just said is exactly how I feel. I feel captivated by that. And I don't know how to reach these kids. I don't know if it's just money. I don't know if it's playing time. I don't know if it's highlights on Instagram. I don't know how to reach these kids. But if you have an ounce of physicality and will and want to win and to do it like the right way, you just listen to that man speak and you want to go out and you want to show that you are a football team capable of winning. I want to be on the sideline. I want to be like, hey, next play, let's go. I want more of that. I feel like we're lifeless. I feel like we're going through the motions.
I mean, he wanted you, after hearing that, you wanted to go squat and put on the helmet.
Let's just listen to Barry. Just listen to him.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd really like to see teams show up and really compete hard and get after Oregon. You're playing the number one team in the country. Instead of showing up and kind of pussyfooting your way in there and feeling your way around.
You don't want to go out there and block somebody, take somebody out, open up a run lane, run a good route, play good complementary football after that, then you don't have bone in your body that has a care.
Yeah, I mean, boy, even the way he just said it's hard. Like, I just wanted to go see guys play hard. I mean, Coach Alvarez never minces words. He says what he means. And, dude, people respond to it, and young men respond to it. That's why he implemented such success with his teams and as athletic director. I think that's what just makes me sad. It makes me angry, Ben, because we saw this program built to degrees they'd never seen before. Sustained success that few programs can experience, and it seems like it's changed overnight, not only in scheme, but in identity, which is frustrating.
Unclear was a word. It's hard when you yourself are asking the questions, right? It's been the annoying buzzword of the Wisconsin football program for the last year and a half. What is their identity? And when the man who built the program is unclear, that cuts. And maybe I'm emotional and dramatic, but this is the fan in me being authentic and saying it sucks to hear that. Because I want to see what he said that the team should do on Saturday. And that's just go compete. Compete every play. Win the play. That's what you guys used to do. That's why I used to love watching Badger football. There was just something deep and different about how you move bodies.
Just tough and gritty, baby. Tough and gritty.
I love tough and gritty. I don't know if we'll see it. Somehow that team better get that audio and play for Barry. Now, somehow I got to take a 2-minute break and do Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? What a full circle moment.
Still the best drop.
Barry and I are actually in lockstep, but he thinks I'm an idiot at the same time.
Who the hell gives a whether Ben Brust is?
Apparently Barry does. We're on the same page. Who knew?
That was quite a tone change from last night.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know the program, the Great Dane Huddle on Mondays in 100.5 ESPN Madison, it's just guys talking football, and it's just a comfortable environment to talk some crap. And I've been a part of that. Tarek and Derek are goons. I love them.
Meatheads, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the best.
They're awesome.
It's a fun show.
But they're completely out of touch with reality. We know that. Listen to their laugh. Look at us. Look at us. Oh, look at us, guys. We got this radio show on Mondays.
It up with Coach.
6 and 7. This is a great time, huh?
Coach, you want to do it? Same time, same place next week?
Sounds good. But that right there, they can do that because they put those blood, sweat, and tears in. And now I'm getting too weird. 800-990-3776. Caller number 10, 800-990-3776. You know what? I'm winning Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust for Barry Alvarez. I have to. For Barry. Caller 10, 800-990-3776. 15 questions in 90 seconds. You're allowed to say skip or pass. If you beat me, you have the pride of saying you beat me, and plus you will win a $25 gift card. Caller 10, 800-990-3776. Are you smarter than Ben Brust? In 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. It's the state semifinals this Friday night as the Muskego Warriors take on the Mukwonago Indians, the biggest rivalry in the entire state, for a chance to go to Camp Randall. This Friday, broadcast starts at 6:30 and then 7 o'clock on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. The Don, Barry Alvarez, was just on Kyle Brust and Nortman, and they talked Badgers football and not really sure what the identity of the Badgers are under Luke Fickell.
Help me figure out what the identity of this football team is, because I'm struggling with it. It feels very unclear to me.
I can't answer that. I can't answer that. I'd like to see it myself.
Not a great spot for Wisconsin Badgers football. You can hear Barry Alvarez every Monday on the Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez right here on ESPN Madison. In the NFL, the Green Bay Packers are getting ready to go down to Chicago to take on the Bears as they look to keep pace with the first-place Lions. Hour 2 of KBN starts now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN. Sponsored by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. On ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
A start to the show here on KBN. We had Mark Tauscher, we had the legend Barry Alvarez. You're going to want to go back and listen if you didn't on Wisconsin On Demand and everywhere you get your podcasts. Check it out on YouTube. He talked about bringing your A game. He talked about playing hard. Ben Brust said he's going to play hard for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? But Strophy, you know what? You and I are going to play hard.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to bring our gritty, our toughness, so that we, alongside Mike in Lake Mills, can go ahead and get Ben back to 500 on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, presented by Lakeland University. I am Brad Nortman. No Kyle Wallace today. Ben Brust is behind the glass waiting for his opportunity.
You can't peek at your sheet today, though. That's good.
Yeah, he can't. He can't. We had no ability to cheat today. And Alex Strofe, the maestro of KBN and Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, alongside me as well. But we have Mike in Lake Mills to participate on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust today. Mike, first-time contestant. How we feeling today?
Very good, thank you.
Good. I like it. Short, sweet, to the point, ready to play. Let's spin it, Strofe.
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust is presented by Lakeland University. Here's how we play. 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we will come back to it if we get through the rest. If you beat Ben Brust, you will win a $25 gift card. A lot at stake. 24, 23, and 6 is Ben Brust's record, and we've been teetering at 500 for a long time. Mike, any questions as we get going?
No, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's get the timer going in 3, 2, 1. What instrument is used to measure atmospheric pressure?
Barometer.
Which country is home to the ancient city of Petra?
Greece.
Still standing in the U.S., what was the tallest building in the world from 1931 to 1972?
Empire State Building.
In Greek mythology, who is the goddess of wisdom and war?
Mars.
In physics, what is the term for the rate of change of velocity?
Pass.
In what year did World War II end?
1944.
Jane Austen is best known for a novel released in 1813. What is it called?
Little Women.
What is the only U.S. state name that has one syllable?
Pass.
What is known as the powerhouse of the cell?
Pass.
What layer of the earth lies directly below the crust?
Mantle.
In Norse mythology, who is the god of thunder?
Thor.
Today is November 12th. What astrological sign lands on this date?
Taurus.
Okay, how many do we get for Mike in Lake Mills?
It's a 4 spot. It's going to be close.
It is going to be.
I don't have a ton of faith in Ben in these questions.
Yeah, I don't either. We're going to get Ben Bruss called in here.
We're knocking on the glass in the 3rd Street Market Hall. He is
We
not
are.
paying attention.
He is
now
locked
He's running. He's
in.
running.
He took off in a full sprint. I'll tell you what, I don't know if he has the toughness to play for Coach Alvarez, but he's got some acceleration. He has got some acceleration.
Yeah, I mean, it did well for him under Bo Ryan, no doubt.
Yeah, it sure did.
So
It sure-
4 spot for Mike and Lake Mills.
Okay.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he's dead.
No. Some of these I'm so excited for the answer. Of course, as always, as Ben walks back into the room. We only knocked on the door for about a good 10 seconds before we got his attention, but he's back up and ready to play. Ben, as a reminder, you're 24, 23, and 6. So
I lost?
A loss
Who the
put you
hell
up-
gives whether Ben Bruss is
Barry agrees with me. We can't use that anymore.
Who the hell gives whether Ben Bruss is
That is forever an amazing Hall of Fame drop. 24, 23, and 6. So a loss would put you at 500, which we've been teetering with for some time.
Hey, do me a favor and lose today.
Cool.
You might be motivated by Alvarez, but so are we. You're playing Mike in Lake Mills, and you know how to play, but for all those who don't, 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we'll come back through it if we get through the rest. If Mike in Lake Mills beats you, he's going to win a $25 gift card. Any questions, Ben?
No, I'm smart.
Okay, let's prove that. In
Who the
3,
hell gives whether Ben Bruss is
2, 1. What instrument is used to measure atmospheric pressure?
Richter scale.
What country is home to the ancient city of Petra?
France.
Still standing in the U.S., what was the tallest building in the world from 1931 to 1972?
The Empire State.
In Greek mythology, who is the goddess of wisdom and war?
Pass.
In physics, what is the term for the rate of change of velocity?
I got a D in physics. Pass.
In what year did World War II end?
1947.
Jane Austen is best known for a novel released in 1813. What is it called?
Kill a Mockingbird.
What is the only U.S. state name that has one syllable?
Maine.
What is known as the powerhouse of the cell?
The nucleus.
What layer of the earth lies directly below the crust?
These suck. Next.
In Norse mythology, who is the god of thunder?
I don't know Norse. Pass.
Today is November 12th. What astrological sign lands on this date?
Scorpio.
What color is the gemstone?
Nailed it?
What color is the gemstone sapphire most associated with?
Purple.
What was the musician Mozart's first name?
Well, I thought he was a painter 4 years ago, so not good.
No.
That's a 3 spot.
Yikes.
You lost to a 4 spot.
No!
Tough questions today.
These were doozies.
Tough questions.
Well, your third one, you got it right. You got the Scorpio one right.
That was a complete guess.
You had
That's
a 1
wild.
in 14 chance. 1 in 14? No, there's more than 12 astrological signs, isn't there? Maddie Hayes is in the studio.
Yes, social media extraordinaire. All right, go through the answers because I want to know these answers. What's a Norse?
We're going to get to it. We're going to get
You're
to
going
Norse.
to kick yourself over that one.
Kick yourself. What is the instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure? You guessed Richter scale. Good guess, actually. Barometer, temperature. What country is home?
Temperature, isn't that thermometer?
But like that's another
It's not atmospheric pressure.
But he said temperature.
but like weather patterns, I guess is a better way to put it.
Not a meteorologist.
Which country is home to
Really?
the ancient city of Petra? I didn't know this one. Jordan.
Tough question.
You got this one right. Still standing in the U.S. What is the tallest building in the world? From 1931 to 1972. The Empire State Building. Very good.
Very good, me.
Very good. Very
good.
smart, Ben.
Hey, when you only get, 20% of the questions right, we're going to good job you.
Yeah, good job. Good job, bud.
This reminds me of Psych
Nice job, pal.
101 in college when I got a 19 out of 65.
Good job, buddy.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was brutal.
That is
I was
brutal.
hoping for like a 30, and Josh Gosser, my former teammate, I had him open up the test score, and he goes, "You got a 19."
In Greek mythology, who is the goddess of wisdom and war? Athena. In physics, what is the term for the rate of change in velocity? Acceleration. It's weird. I said that actually as you came back in because like we knocked on the door and you scooted here once you got your attention. I was like, wow, Ben's got a lot of acceleration. What do you know? I did say that, didn't I? Pull back the tape from 8 minutes ago. In what year did World War II end? 1945.
Ooh.
Neither got that one right.
Mike said 44. You said 47. It was 45.
All right, this is a fun one. Jane Austen, friend of the show.
Didn't Kyle think she died like last year?
Yeah,
It was
like a couple
1812?
years ago. Yeah, 1830. Well,
she died in 1815.
Yeah. Wow, she wrote it two years before she died?
Yeah, she released 2 books posthumously?
Posthumously.
Posthumously.
Yes. Jane Austen, best known for a novel released in 1813. What is it called? Pride and Prejudice. To Kill a Mockingbird, not the right
Guys,
answer.
the last thing you thought I would remember from the Jane Austen question was Pride and Prejudice. All I could remember is that Kyle killed her 200 years later.
What is the only U.S. state that has one syllable? Maine. What is known as the powerhouse of the cell? Mitochondria, not nucleus. What layer of the earth lies directly below the crust? Mantle. The mantle.
Ask this question, but don't give the answer.
In Norse mythology, who is the god of thunder?
Now, if I was,
I see a guy with a trident.
I would replace that with a hammer.
Yeah.
And think
Thor?
There you go.
Thor. It's like
Thor is not just an Avengers person.
No, he's like a Norse
way.
legend of sorts.
I thought he was a fictional character.
I'm going to blow your mind right now. Do you know Iron Man is also real?
Oh, shut up. I'm going to give you a noogie.
Today is November 12th. What is the astrological sign?
I can't believe you got this right.
This is crazy. Lands on the state. Scorpio. Of all the signs, I wouldn't even think of Scorpio.
You always say Aquarius for everything.
Like the goddess of the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Libra. Scorpio.
Cool.
I didn't even know Aquarius was a sign.
Oh, good Lord.
And those are the only 3 I could probably name.
What color is the gemstone sapphire most associated with?
Green?
Blue. Blue.
0 for 3.
Kind of close to your purple answer. And last one, didn't get to an answer. Want to take a stab at it? What is the musician Mozart's first
Yeah, you just
name?
told us you thought he did a different occupation.
Yeah.
You didn't give
Take a
us an
stab at
answer.
a name.
Mozart.
Mozart.
Yes. Yep, that's his last name.
Leonardo.
That's not a name.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang.
Amadeus Mozart.
That's a sick name.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Before its time.
Pretty cool.
Well before its time.
Maybe.
There you go.
Baby-
500.
500.
Brust Baby
Welcome
number
back.
2.
Wolfgang Brust.
Wolfgang
Ooh.
Brust.
Well, Eddie Van Halen's son from the band Van Halen. Wolfgang Van Halen.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a powerful name right there. Powerful.
All right, congratulations to whoever it was. I'm now back
Mike
to
and
500.
Wicknells.
So I've not been under 500 ever, though.
No, not in the history of Kyle Brust and Nortman.
All right.
Next week's the big one.
Showdown.
24, 24, and 6.
Showdown next weekend.
Oof.
Next week.
Bring your brains, KBN Nation.
It's going to be Chef Ed.
Chalk up a W. From the Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust grader, great job, everybody. Just all around.
Love it. Love it.
All right, the Bears are in disarray. They want to bench Caleb Williams. Well, they don't want to bench, but players have suggested Tyson Bagent. Brad, are you going to join Strofe and I's club? We believe there's a 0% chance that the Bears win. Mathematically correct or not, it's correct in our brains, and we're going to get you there next. If you're not there with us, you will be after this tweet next.
Caleb Williams sucks.
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Tyler, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
Yeah,
now.
taking notes over there,
Taking some of those tips, taking some of those tips, those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tyler,
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my friends at Door County Distillery. It's getting cold outside, but don't let it get cold at your gathering with Door County Distillery. For me, football season and the winter is whiskey season. Door County Distillery makes the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey and my personal favorite, the delicious brandy. Or maybe it's their wide array of vodkas, brandies, rums, and more. Elevate with Door County Distillery. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com, to find a retailer nearest you and a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Who is the god of thunder?
Now, if I was,
I see a guy with a trident.
I would replace that with a hammer.
Yep.
And think
Thor?
There you go.
Thor. It's like
Thor is not just an Avengers person.
No, he's like a Norse
No
like
way.
legend of sorts.
The faint laughter from our social media extraordinaire sitting in the studio, Madison Hayes 24 on Instagram. Don't worry, I have approval to send it out there. We're trying to find her a date. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Strofer on the show, Hunter Vaughn, hopefully keeping us on time in the ESPN Madison studios, the Everlight Solar
Did
ESPN
you
Madison.
call them the Hunter Vaughn Studios?
He doesn't deserve the name. Not by the way he's running the board today over there. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. And you can see our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, we had a great time yesterday, I will say. I don't know about you guys, but Strofe, I feel like we had a really good time.
Yeah, I had a blast, man. And it's only getting better.
It's getting better. Per my buddy, Cool, which is bachelor party back in the day.
Cool.
Per Sylvie of...
I've always been confused by that. Can we? So Mark Silverman.
Mark Silverman, host of Waddle and Sylvie
How
2
old
to
is he?
6 on ESPN 1000. He's probably like 10 years older than me.
How did you become friends?
Were you the youngest guy in the bachelor party?
Oh, for sure. I have a story about that. So my brother Jonathan grew up, and I listened to Waddle and Sylvie growing up. It actually kind of is an inspiration of sports radio for me and wanting to be in it one day. You know, I was being recruited to small mid-major schools when I was a sophomore in college. SIU, Southern Illinois, was one of them. That's where Sylvie went to school. So like my brother connected with him on that, and then we became, friends and listened to the show, go stop by, see him. And then he started coming to my games when I was in college. And then when he had a bachelor party, I went to it, and I had to get into bars with Tom Waddle, his co-host, as my dad, because I was only 20 years old. So like they were like, oh, we're just bringing my kid in, even though I was not his kid and I was just 20 years old. So we go way back. But that being said, there's a dumpster fire going on in Hallis Hall, the home of the Bears. Sylvie on Twitter X. After talking with a few people with knowledge of the situation, players went to the head coach Matt Eberflus and GM Ryan Poles, asking them to make a change at offensive coordinator. Now, Shane Waldron, their offensive coordinator, post 3 points against the New England Lowly Patriots, was fired this morning. There have also been a few veteran players requesting Bagent starts. Yes, Tyson Bagent.
Caleb Williams sucks.
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
Caleb Williams sucks. Ha!
The Holy Trinity, as Alex Strofe calls it.
Yeah, it's worse there than I thought. Like, way worse. This is mutiny type stuff, guys. This is
0% chance to beat the Packers bad.
Yeah. I think I'm there.
Are you? This is bad.
I think I'm there. I really do. Yesterday, I sincerely didn't believe that there was a 0% chance, but I underestimated how much of a disaster this organization is. I mean, the fact that players went to the GM and head coach and requested a change, and then they made the change. Like, that's crazy. You can't give players that much power, particularly when you're in like the waning years of this coaching staff. And then Caleb Williams, supposed to be the savior of your program, supposed to be the guy who is going to take the Bears to new steps. Cap on our program on ESPN 1000 said he will be second only to Michael Jordan when it's all said and done in Chicago. And 10 games in, veterans on the team that know ball, they know the NFL. They're requesting a change to Tyson Bagent. I mean, what world are we living in? This is absurd. I mean, I've never seen such a fall of grace, delusion, completely, vanished and evaporated before our very eyes. I think I'm right there. I don't think there's any way
they beat
the Packers
the Jaguars
lose this game.
no less than 3 weeks ago, it feels like, in London.
It's free fall. It is absolute free fall that they're in. I just don't see how the Packers can lose this game anymore. I thought that it was, mostly outside noise. That's the difference. I thought this was outside noise.
We got him, Strofe.
It's worse. It's worse inside.
Yeah.
We've been trying to tell you this.
I told you this yesterday. It's a complete train wreck. They're completely dysfunctional. They don't know how to run an organization, despite being one of the oldest in the entire league. They stink. They ruin everything they touch.
You want to hear another statistic?
I do.
Under George McCaskey, who's acting as like an owner, because Virginia McCaskey's 101, right? I think we did that research. In his 12 years, 3 general managers, 4 head coaches. This is the fascinating one. 10 offensive coordinators in 12 years.
Oh.
10 offensive coordinators in 12 years. Usually that happens when, good things happen and then offensive coordinators go somewhere else for better things. This is like the way, way opposite end.
I mean,
0 playoff wins, by the way. I like to add to that 12 years
it's an
thing.
important one. I mean, the Packers are known for identifying and developing quarterbacks. The Bears are known for identifying and destroying quarterbacks. It's unbelievable how consistently bad and dysfunctional you can be. I was a part of some bad teams. 3-13 for the Jags my first year. I believe 7-9, which looking back wasn't that bad for Carolina my first year. But all the outside noise seemed to be amplified, right? Like there was some discontentment in the locker room because you want to win, you want to do better. But all the outside noise felt like it was louder than on the inside. So that's why when I hear all the outside noise to the Bears, I'm thinking it can't be that bad inside the building, which is why I lead myself to believe there's a chance for them. It's worse.
The Packers could play an F game and still win.
I think they can. I think if you get any lead, they will fold. That's just what happens, right, guys? They throw in the towel. What am I doing this for? They play for themselves, not the team.
They've been doing that. DJ Moore, their wide receiver, walked off the field during a play that was still active.
That was wild.
That was a week after Tyreek Stevenson waved to all the fans before a Hail Mary was completed against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, and in that moment, right, before that moment, it looked like they were doing okay. They had some wins under their belt. That moment tipped the scales. It really did. They were like on a cliff's edge, teetering. That was when they went fully over. That Hail Mary, that embarrassing look in Washington. I can't remember a team in such dysfunction. This is unbelievable.
Could you imagine being on one of your NFL teams and going to like seeing the veterans go to the GM and coach and like tell them what to do?
I can't imagine it. There had been some teams that I'd been on that were experiencing frustration, and it was sort of like casually discussed. Like, you know what, we should go. Like, this was when we were hitting like rock bottom, when it was hitting a moment of, you know what, we got to say something. But no one ever did. They went to the moment where they did say something, and they obliged. Unbelievable. Only Chicago.
John in Milwaukee, 800-990-3776. You're on with Ben and Brad. No Kyle here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
In spite of Kyle's absence, I will try to hold it together emotionally. I am not joking when I say this. I believe that if the Bears had drafted Patrick Mahomes, I believe that Patrick Mahomes would be Mitchell Trubisky right now. That's how bad I think the Bears are as a dysfunctional organization. And I'm not exaggerating even a little bit.
Put on the poll, if the Bears drafted Patrick Mahomes, would he be bad?
That's a really good take. I don't know. I mean,
could Patrick Mahomes out-Bears the Bears?
I have a hard time saying he would be good. I really do. I don't think you can overcome environment. I don't think Caleb Williams is a bad quarterback. Well, he does stink, and I'm on record of saying that Caleb Williams stinks. Caleb Williams sucks.
That's
sucks.
you.
Yep, that is me. But he's clearly bad as a Bear. Clearly. There's no other way to put it.
Thank you, Brad.
I thought there was going to be a little bit of life to this rivalry. You know, you get Caleb Williams.
Oh, there's life. We're just
we're
just reincarnation.
Yeah, you're just burying him. You're going to bury him. I think I don't know. It's just crazy. I have really no words to say how insanely dysfunctional this is. I've never seen anything like it. If there's leaks like this, you know there's worse. There's even more going on that hasn't been leaked.
I hope Virginia McCaskey does not get as emotional as Kyle Wallace does watching their team when they lose.
She probably can't handle that kind of stress.
No, she can't watch the games. I wouldn't.
Now, this is why I understand my entire time living here in the state as a kid, going to school here, and now living back here again. I've only known delusional Bear fans. They're not even delusional anymore. They're defeated. They're defeated Bears fans. I've never experienced that change of tone, but now I know why. This is a defeated fan base and organization. They're about to get stomped.
Final nail in the coffin on Sunday
for Eberflus,
just for the Bears. They cease to exist forever.
If the Packers beat them, and likely when they do beat them by double digits, call it 20, 30, I think you're going to see guys give up. More so than you've already seen.
Now, you've dabbled in this Potawatomi Sportsbook now. Are you eyeing a -6.5 spread?
Buenas noches, Chicago!
Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
Well, you know where to
I
go. The
love free
2,000 square foot video wall, the restaurant dubbed the kitchen, seating for 200, reserve parking if you're in a rush. Just know that you can also use your rewards cards to bet on some of your favorite teams and get some rewards back for that at Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their brand new sports book. If you haven't been there, you'll thank me when you go in and see how beautiful the screens are. All the games. I mean, this is the best time of the year. College football, NFL, NBA, college basketball. Just wrapped up the World Series. You might be a hockey fan. They got that. You have everything at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. So paysbig.com/sportsbook. Build your bets there. See all the lines. Get in the action. Paysbig.com/sportsbook. Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their brand new sportsbook. What is more likely, Brad? A Badgers win or a Packers loss? Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Student Athlete Support Fund is something I was looking at. I'm ultimately likely going to give to this College of Letters. Jeez. I was in life.
Long week.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Thanksgiving's only a few weeks away, and Fleet Farm's got just what you need to prep for family and friends. For you turkey smokers, Griller's Gold barbecue pellets are just $5.99 a bag. And you can never have enough Fleet Farm mixed nuts. 2-pound bags are on sale for $12.99. Wash it all down with Bubbler's sparkling water. Now just $11 for 2 6-packs. The holidays will be here before you know it. So stock up now on everything you need at the best prices guaranteed at Fleet Farm.
Pizza Hut's wings are the best thing to happen to pizza night since, well, pizza. Introducing Pizza Hut's new Big Boneless Wing Bundle. For only $15.99, enjoy 16 crispy boneless wings in 2 different flavors, 2 dipping sauces, and a double order of fries. The wings are sauced and tossed to perfection and available in 9 flavors like honey barbecue, garlic parmesan, and sweet chili. It's the perfect bundle for game days, girls' nights, family night, or any tailgate party. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
If the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound.
This question kind of stinks, but it's a thought provoker. What would surprise you more, a Badger win or a Packer loss? Well, I guess it doesn't suck because there's an opportunity for a Badger win. You guys just leave me out to dry again.
Well, what did you call this?
A thought provoker?
I'm trying to decide if that's a thing.
I don't know that that's a word.
Thought provoking.
Let me do some research.
This question is thought provoking.
Thought provoker.
It is thought provoking.
It is.
It's a word.
That I would agree with.
Thought
Provoker?
provoker.
It's a word.
As a noun or as an.
Look at him smile. He's lying.
You're bending vocabulary right now. I can tell.
I don't know why the third thing that pops up is the National Federation of the Blind of Nebraska for thought provoker. Can't describe that. So what's more likely, Brad? What would surprise you more? A Badger win or a Packer loss?
Well, they're both very unlikely, right? A Packer loss, very unlikely. And a Badger win, I'll admit, very unlikely. Number 1 Oregon's coming to Camp Randall. I think they're like a 15-point favorite, something like 14, 15 points. And the Packers are a 6-point favorite. So, like, if you were a betting man, you'd probably say, well, it's the NFL and Green Bay Packers and, you know, the Bear rivalry throughout the record. I can't do it, okay? I can't do it. After all the craziness that we've seen out of the Chicago Bears, it would surprise me more if the Packers lost. Upsets happen in college football all the time. All the time. Every week we see a top team go down, them carrying out the goalposts, and I hope to see that at Camp Randall.
Oh, that'd be great.
It's still, it has been done. I was on the team that beat Ohio State when they were number 1.
Cool.
So, look, it's still Camp Randall. It's still possible. I don't see how this Packer team loses. I really don't. After a bye, I just think they're going to be rested and healthy. I don't see how this Bears team, I think they're going to score a couple points early, maybe go up like 7 or 10 points in the first quarter, and this Bears team just falls over. They lay down and play dead.
What's the most toxic thing you've ever seen in a locker room on a bad team?
Oh, I have seen what the guys did to go and get a coach fired. I've only seen that in like discussion form. Like kind of guys are rolling out, you know, like with a foam roller, and they're kind of huddling up.
This guy.
Yeah, and I'm just like listening in, and they're like, if we have another game like this, if we do this or that, we got to make a change. Like our voices will carry weight. It's only been discussed, but never brought to fruition. So the fact that it's been brought to fruition and then executed shows how toxic, and there's just no chain of command. No chain of command.
All right, that means we go over to the KBN Sports Desk with one Alex Strofe.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm on an island over here, so I'm pulling you guys in. We got this text on the text line, 800-990-3776. It says this. Imagine 3 college degrees can't figure out how many words thought provoke is. Wild. Now, this text comes from the following name. B-R-I, one name. Is that Bri or Bree?
I read Bree.
How many college degrees is it going to take to figure out what this person's name is?
Yeah, can you phonetically text back B-R-I to let us know how to pronounce your name?
Is it Bree like Brianna? Or
Dude,
is it
the English language makes no sense.
It would indicate to me, like, if Bree sounds like a girl and Bri sounds like a guy.
And that'd be Brian.
I would think with sports talk radio, you'd think it'd be Bri.
Hey, we have a strong female listenership.
We sure do. Dirty D being one of them.
Way to reference our female listener as Dirty D.
Well, yeah, she
great job, Brad. Strong female Dirty D.
Yeah, she is. She represents.
Stop being a freaking hater.
There she is. Female contingent out there. So I don't know.
Take the Packers minus 6.5. It's K-Walk.
I do. There's a very, very, very small chance the Badgers win. I can't see the Packers losing. If the Packers lose, I'll need to reassess a lot about this Packer team. A lot.
Yeah, but like that's the thing is I don't think you're going to have to because what we're doing about the Badgers is like that reassessment right now. I don't think they're going to like they can't lose this game. It's impossible.
The Packers.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
How is this possible that this would be the game that Matt LaFleur loses to the Bears? Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Strofe.
Call me Professor Strofe for this moment because I'm going to teach you boys a thing or two about mathematics.
Oh.
When there is a 0% chance something happens, and there is a greater than 0% chance when something else happens, that is the answer. There is a 0% chance, according to all three of us,
that the Bears win.
That the Bears win on Sunday.
So the Badgers have a better chance.
None of us have said there's a 0% chance the Badgers win on their home field on Saturday. None of us have said that. I don't feel very good about it, but none of us have said that. Therefore, the conclusion we can reach with an equal sign in this mathematic equation is that it is more likely the Badgers beat number 1 Oregon than the Packers lose to the Bears on Sunday.
Well said, Professor Strofe.
Professor Strofe.
To tie a bow on our Bri conversation, 800-990-3776. Brian, shorten it. Bri.
Bri is interesting. I wonder if that's like a nickname or something.
Sounds like a pet name.
Yeah. Maybe it is a pet name.
Could be a Bri.
We have a content director named Brian. Should we start calling him Bri?
Yeah, let's see how he reacts.
Let's do it. James the Postman, good to see you checking in. You didn't respond when we were talking about the $378 that are beads that we sent out to all of our great KBN Nation that had to pay as extra postage for what I mailed out. You guys are driving me crazy. There is no way the Packers lose this weekend. We went a whole week, all the Bears guys saying there's no way they lose to the Patriots, and then what do? They lose to the Patriots. I guarantee you we lose this game against the Bears. Come on, James.
Oh, wow, that's way too strong.
Yeah, it's too strong, James. You're better than that, James. Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Strofe.
Professor Strofe.
Sorry. On the text line.
There's a fundamental error in his
on the text line, why is X greater than O equal 1?
Well, first off, it's to the 0 power is what that is. Greater than. Anyway. There was a fundamental error in James the Postman's mathematics. He is comparing the Packers to the Bears. The Packers, Ben, are greater than the Bears. Therefore, they are greater than the Patriots, who beat the Chicago Bears by 16 points. Therefore, equal sign, 0% chance.
0% chance. You're pretty good at math.
It's my strong suit.
A lot of transitive property in there.
If you often listen to Mr. Relevant, you know math, definitely my strong suit.
800-990-3770. Stop missing calls and stop doing math. You're just going to get yelled at by Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for stealing their X-Files music on 94.5 ESPN 7 to 9.
Well, they stole it from X-Files. They're no better than me.
That's correct.
Wow, Strofe's on fire right now.
Yeah, he's cooking.
On fire.
Cooking with gas. And after we talked to Barry Alvarez, you know what I was thinking, Brad?
What's that?
I want to run through a wall, and I want to play football. I want to move some bodies, but I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't go to the Princeton Club, where they've donated millions of dollars into new equipment all across the clubs. Locker room renovations, Madison's favorite health club, Madison's best health club, free childcare with the membership, open 24/7, find your passion. They have weights, cardio, workout classes, basketball courts, tennis courts. I've done personal training with my guy, Maddie. Need to get myself back into that personal training mode. But I also love the steam room, the sauna, all the amenities, the community atmosphere. Find your better tomorrow, 8 Madison locations or New Berlin. Get a head start on your health because it's important, people. Princeton Club for a better tomorrow. Kyle Bruston-Nortman wraps up the ESPN Wisconsin portion before the 414 hour at 4. Next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Greg Matzek. Gary.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Madison Axe. Enjoy axe throwing, craft beers, bags, shuffleboarding, and more fun at Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Visit MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today. Searching for a shakeup. Wisconsin football getting top-ranked Oregon this week. Coming off a 2-game slide, that offense needing a wake-up if they want to run with the Big Ten's top unit. Mark Tauscher on what the offense's strong suits are during his appearance on ESPN Madison's Jim, Matt, and Molly.
When they're going, it's been a consistent ground attack with Walker really kind of being that bell cow. And you have Vinny Anthony, I think, has really kind of emerged as a big play threat. We've seen little glimpses, but that has to be that formula to loosen some things up.
Pallet can customize windows and doors to look like they've always been a part of your unique home. Get 0% interest for 12 months at palletwi.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through from the left wing.
Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Despite a big win on Thursday night, it's right back to a losing streak for the Bucks after back-to-back losses this weekend. First on Friday night, a 116-94 loss in New York to the Knicks. And on Sunday, 23 second-half points from Jason Tatum overcame another huge game from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spinning on Dame, backing his way in on Dame. A head fake pulls right over Dame, falls down, no whistle. Tatum misses the shot, rebounded by Derek White. He's going to send back out. Tatum fires again from three, and he buries it. Oh, that's a tough set.
113-107, the Bucks fall to the Celtics. Next up, they take on the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night at Fiserv Forum.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash Game Show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Brett Burrs from Verona Area High School. You're a Wildcat. What's that mean to you to be a Wildcat?
Being a Wildcat to me is it's really special. You know, all the great facilities here, all the great guys in the team, all the great coaches. It's really something special to be a part of.
Now, football, wrestling, and golf. What's the first sport you remember playing?
I remember playing soccer as a little kid. Parents got me into that.
And then golf. How'd you get into golf?
So I actually tore both my labrums my sophomore year, and I had to get surgery on those. I couldn't really do anything as far as like sports, and golf was like the only thing I could. So I fell in love with golf and then went out for golf my junior year and really like it. So I'm gonna golf again my senior year.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL, on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Brad is feeling very self-conscious right now.
What's wrong?
It's weird. So you guys know how Lexi and I eat healthy, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Well, this morning we prepared cod, the fish,
for tonight.
Oh no, for like the week. Like there was like 8 fillets of cod that we were doing, and I'm working it. My hand's dirty with it. You put it in the oven. I feel like I smell like fish. I feel like I smell like fish everywhere I go.
Just find out.
I'll catch.
Do you
like
allow me to invade your personal
Yeah,
space?
he's gonna come smell you.
Yeah, this shoulder.
He's gonna come smell you.
Wait, it's a specific shoulder?
No, my whole sweatshirt smells like it, but this shoulder specifically smells like fish.
Okay, Ben now leaning into the wrong shoulder. Now the correct shoulder.
Yeah, you smell like fish.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
don't
there
I?
you go.
What I mean, I tell you what.
I wonder if he's messing with you.
No, I do. I smell it. I'll like turn and I'll catch a whiff of myself, And every
Are you
time
messing with him, or does he?
No,
actually
I'm not
smell like
messing
fish?
with him. He smells like fish.
I walked by Ben probably 5 times now, leaving the studio or
Now,
whatever.
let's caution right now. It's okay. Because your shoulder's right next to your nose can smell it. When you walk by people, you're not like just a drift of fish.
I feel like I'm waiting for somebody to say it. Even like in our pre-show meeting, I thought like I was going to stink up the room.
You know what's funny is we were talking about how it smells like dude in that room.
I think it's
maybe it was the fish smell.
I think it was fish plus dude. Fish plus dude equal the weird smell. And all I can smell, even like
fish plus dude. Hold on. Let's go to the math board.
I'm sick of this.
Even when we were interviewing Barry Alvarez,
he can't smell you through the phone.
No, I caught a whiff of myself.
Gonna kiss you through the phone.
Yeah, Barry's like, "Do you guys smell something over there?" Even then, I would catch a whiff of myself, and I'm like, I smell like fish. It's driving me crazy.
So rather than focusing on what ended up being a very good conversation with our teammate Barry Alvarez.
Great conversation.
You were more focused on the fact that you might smell weird, despite that we are in an audio medium. We're not in like a nasal medium. People aren't we're not scratching sniffs.
There
We're
are
doing
ways
radio.
for you to make money doing that outside of the entity that we work for.
I'm not saying that.
Ooh, you should have people bid on your sweatshirt.
They want my fishy sweatshirt.
You never
know what the market is.
I'll tell you what. If the price is right.
People buy pictures of feet on the internet. Like,
if the price is right, you can
I don't
own
want mine.
A Brad Nortman game-worn sweatshirt that smells like fish. Game-worn meaning KBN game.
Worn, yeah.
I was going to say, is this a Panthers or Jaguars or Badgers hoodie? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Also, Brad has to complain about some real Nortman Estate first world problems.
Yeah, I do. And I'm thankful that you're giving me this opportunity.
Kyle Brusson-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
No, this is different from fish. So we all know what it's like to live in Wisconsin during the fall. The leaves look beautiful. They change colors, but then they fall, and they're all over my lawn, right? And, I'm not going out there and picking them up. Nate is doing that. My guy, Nate, who takes care of our lawn.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's
so relatable.
It's so nice. It is nice to watch him out there. I sip my cup of coffee. Hey, you're doing great, Nate. So it's
Do you actually?
No, I will give him a wave. For sure. He is awesome. He is awesome. Great dude. But yeah, I'll give him, I'm not going to ignore him. He's Nate. And he picks up the leaves from our lawn, and it looks great, right? Pristine, ready for winter, right? Looking beautiful. And then wouldn't you know it, the wind picks up, and our neighbor, who has about 5 times the amount of trees that we do, all their leaves have fallen, and they're not doing anything, seemingly, right, and yet, to pick them up. And you know where they flew into?
The Nortman Estate.
They flew into the Nortman Estate. It's unbelievable. I pay Nate a handsome sum to make my lawn look great.
Let's be honest. Nate probably gets absolutely botched on like Brad's cheap pricing.
No, he sets the rate. And I agree to it because he does a great job. He really does. He does such a good job. I will pay his rate, which is it's good. It's a good amount. But it's not a good amount when your neighbors don't pick up their leaves and then the wind blows them into your yard.
Brad's complaining about the way the earth works.
He's also complaining about something that's actually he doesn't have to deal with. You are doing 0% of the work involved with this.
But I pay money.
Right. You're throwing money at your problems. That's what you get.
You know what it feels like?
Rather than growing some cojones and walking over to your neighbor's house and saying, "Hey guys." You say, "Hey, no, Nate."
That's exactly
Nate,
what I was
here's
thinking.
$100. Take care of it, brother. You got it, man.
Pay for my neighbor's yard? Oh, no. You're saying
the leaves that have become yours. Yes.
Did you go out and do anything about them?
Of course he did.
Not yet.
I
probably
God.
won't. I want the wind to then pick up and just go the other direction. That's what I'm hoping for. Before the first snowfall, that the wind picks up and blows them back into my neighbor's yard. It feels like I'm at a nice dinner.
Strove, do you think people enjoy listening to Brad's estate problems as much as you and I do? Because I have to rake leaves and blow leaves.
Like hearing how unrelatable Brad is.
But do they? Because I want to punch him sometimes.
I should say our reactions to
Yeah,
how
it's like,
unrelatable Brad is. Yeah.
Can you believe this? The wind was winding.
I've got to pay my butler a couple more dollars in my giant ass mansion.
It feels like I went out to a nice dinner and I sat next to somebody.
No way this
and
is going to land.
And they're creating a mess all over. It's getting into my food. That's what it feels like.
Hey,
That is a
Bradford,
crazy analogy.
maybe you haven't heard of this before. It's called a leaf blower.
You know what? I do have. And here's the thing. Do you guys remember from my birthday? I have a leaf blower.
And,
Use it. Why?
Hold on.
Why did you get a leaf
Nate's
blower
leaf
for your
blower.
birthday when you have Nate?
It's Nate's.
No. I got it for small
Nate?
jobs. My yard is way too big to just do me and my leaf blower. It's for like around the house. It's like for blowing out the garage and the patio.
Yeah, douche.
And the leaves from the gutter. Not the whole Nortman Estate lawn.
Why doesn't Brad wait for Nate until the neighbors' trees are bare? Good
Because-
question, Jake.
Yeah, because Nate just did it on his schedule. He said now's the time.
Leaves are biodegradable and will take care of themselves.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I know you don't want them to smother the lawn, but I'm hoping it's just enough leaves to not kill the Nortman Estate lawn. Yeah, it's got to be beautiful for next spring.
For Nate,
You
got a leaf blower, and you haven't even used it.
I used it for my garage, which was lovely. Lovely.
I don't know if I'm mad at him or happy for him. You know what I mean? He just lives such a good life.
It's a great leaf blower. I just don't want to use it on my lawn.
You are the biggest dork on planet Earth.
I love,
coming
and I
from
also
me.
love when the text line gets after Brad. Keep being you, Brad. Damn Sports Show next in Beaver Dam. Jim, Matt, and Molly in Madison.